Hey, Joe, you want to go to sleep?
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about The Thing from Another World.
The Thing from Another World. This is what, 1951? Yeah. Okay, so
Jesus fucking Christ.
this is based on a short story by some guy named something. I don't remember his name, but the story is Who Goes There? But this is one of those 1950s movies from who directed this? Nobody fucking knows because everybody calls it
His producer.
Howard Hawks film.
Yeah.
But this was the era when the producer was much more important than the director. Why? I don't know. They were the money people, you know. They're the ones getting this shit made, but whatever.
Because at that time, like, everybody worked for a studio. So all the actors, all the crewmen, the directors, and everybody, they worked for a specific studio. So they just be like, hey, this crew, you're working on this picture now. So it wasn't like they were plucking and pulling these talents to work on movies. You know what I'm saying?
When I was a young, impressionable asshole, I read a lot of books about Hollywood and films and, you know, the history. And every one of them kisses the fuck out of Howard Hawks' ass. You know, they talk about his work, talk about this film, how suspenseful it is, and this film fucking sucks. This is boring as shit, like Tom said. And to begin with, it starts out, you know, some military types, and they're all sitting around talking like, oh, yeah, oh, you said it, Captain. Shitty, unbelievable characters, acting, dialogue. Uh,
Dog,
so
I tried. When they're like walking through the snowbanks and you see the matte painting on the back and they got their bullshit fucking fake snow and they got their little bullshit trail you can walk through and they got their, oh, it's covered in snow cabin on one side and dickheads walking through like, oh, I'm so cold trying to get to my shelter. I'm just like, oh man, this is pretty cool. This is like, this is quaint. This is old school movie making. This is cool. That sucks when that's the best shit you can say. Like, oh, look at them blowing the fucking soap flakes to make them look like they're so cold. That's the best shit in this movie. And it happens like 5 minutes in. And unless you're like not a fucking movie dork, you're not going to give a fuck about that shit.
so this is The Thing from Another World. This is some military types go to this Arctic base where they're doing research on some shit. Hey, they found a UFO, but they got to blow it up out of the ice. They do, and they fuck.
Hey, what's that down there? Let's all stand in a circle with
So
our arms spread out so we can see how big it is.
the circle, it must be a UFO. Anyway, they blow that up, but there's still a person trapped in ice and a cube of ice there. And is it Captain America? He's a big guy and everything. No, we found out later because, you know, they take that cube of ice back to their base and everything, where it just so happens they have a secretary there at this Arctic Research Center that the captain of the ship has, well, not the spaceship, but the airplane, the military guy, he had like a little fling with her. So they're in the
What's that whore's name? I want to say the one from the Betty Brant. Is that loose slit from the Daily Bugle?
now. Tom's best thing was the snow flying. You know, all the fucking I don't know, laundry detergent they use.
Soap, yeah.
Yeah,
Shaved
but
soap.
I thought this woman was the best thing in the movie. I thought she was very attractive.
What? How can you even tell? I can't even tell with these fucking old black and white movies. Like, oh yeah, she's pretty hot. It'd be like fucking a mummy now.
Yeah, now, but she had a good look to her. I thought
Yeah,
that
I don't know about that shit, dog.
like women, you like fucking snowflakes or whatever they were using.
Ah, dog, you like fucking vampiric apparitions.
Uh, a guy that's watching the cube of ice decides to throw a blanket on top of it so he doesn't have to.
Not just any blanket. We
Elect-
find out it's a heated blanket. Like this fucking idiot couldn't tell. Like, oh, I'm so scared. I don't want to look at this monster in the ice. I just want to throw something over it. Like he
so it
doesn't know he's throwing something heavy over it with a cord. That's also hot to the touch.
was actually a plant species or something.
He's a
He's on
fucking carrot man. He's an alien carrot man.
sucks blood. He needs blood to live, as most plants do. So what's he do at first? Kills the dogs. There's a scene with him wrestling a bunch of dogs outside in the distance.
Red
Kills
Rocket. Red Rocket.
and yeah, and then he's going after some of the people, but one science guy decides, no, we need to communicate with him. A smart species, smarter than us, and we have to learn from it. There's all these trope type characters, and like I said, the dialogue is just shit, and you don't care. You don't give a fuck that.
No, it was so hard to stay awake.
Yeah,
So hard.
3 times, goddamn, 3 fucking times. And
I
then,
watched this on fucking Tubi, and every time a commercial came up, it was like a mercy in Mortal Kombat 3. It was like, oh, thank you for giving me another chance. Maybe a couple smacks in the face will get this shit together.
yeah, and the monster who doesn't look good is played by Desi Arnaz Jr. or
Oh,
I have no idea, and it doesn't matter. This features an early version of one of my favorite stunts, and I didn't give a shit. I didn't care at all that they set this guy on fire. It's like I wish they would have set the film on fire. There are several lost films out there. I wish this was one of them, because this was fucking boring. Fucking boring.
yeah. Ah, fuck. Like I was ready. I popped a few before I fucking watched this shit, and like I was ready. I've seen it before. So I didn't remember much, honestly, but I knew it was just like, oh yeah, it's a black and white movie. It's gonna be just a bunch of people talking to each other and nothing really happens, and that's what those movies were. Some of them had iconic looks for some of the monsters or something, and that's why they're popular. I understand. This one is known because Jean, because I'm still fucking doing the Jean Claude Van Damme-a-thon. This one is popular because John Carpenter fucking remade it. So,
I remade this one. Yeah.
Mr. C, is that you?
Well, no. Hi, Tom. It's been a while. Been a while.
Been a while since I could say I wasn't addicted. And everything I can remember.
But we will be talking about the remake of The Thing from Another World next week.
Yeah, one of the greatest movies ever made.